This program is brought to you by generous donations from the community and sponsored by Stifel Financial.
All right, good evening, Nevada County. I'm Keith Overby, your host for tonight's episode and edition of Nevada County Now. By now, many of you have heard about the nationwide economic blackout protest set to take place on Friday, February 28th. Participate or don't participate. That's your options. This is the beautiful part of a free nation. It's the best. It is each of our choices to do as we feel best. Now, we'd like to take a different approach to this story and talk about what it means to boycott and or control your dollars, which simply means making a conscious effort to prioritize buying goods and services from businesses that support your beliefs. People will often boycott a business that doesn't align with their political or religious views. This is nothing new. But honestly, how effective is this? Boycotts can be effective and a powerful tool for social change when combined with other actions. Generally, they are not very effective at significantly impacting a company's bottom line, as many consumers struggle to consistently follow through with their long-term intentions, which ultimately affect long-term sales. Most large companies are equipped to deal with short-term sales dips. However, boycotts can be impactful in raising awareness about an issue and generating public pressure on a company to change its policies, especially when well organized and widely supported. An example of this would be the 381-day boycott of the Montgomery, Alabama bus system. That boycott led to the Supreme Court ruling that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. Now, boycotting also has a bad side. They can sometimes cause people to lose their jobs. If a business closes or reduces staff due to lack of sales, it normally has a trickle-down effect. So although one action is done to prevent a behavior, the consequence can also create another. There may be some skepticism about the effectiveness of boycotts, but history has shown that boycotts do really work. But there is a caveat. Boycotts should be one of the many tools in our arsenal for social change. Now, don't go away. We'll be right back with more on how to make our dollars effective.
Thank you to Stifel Financial, proudly helping individuals pursue financial goals, businesses and organizations raise and protect capital, and communities offer a higher quality of life. To learn more, visit www.stifel.com.
All right, welcome back. So now we've touched on boycotting. Let's talk about spending locally and how permanent changes can change a community. You can decide if that is boycotting or simply supporting local. Supporting locally means just that. Spend within your community rather than large national chains. And you're doing this to intentionally keep money circulating within your local economy. When you spend money at a local business, a larger portion of that money is likely to be respent within the community, as the business owners and employees also patronize local establishments. This creates a positive economic ripple effect. By shopping locally, you directly contribute to the employment of people in your community versus large corporations' profit margins. And also, local businesses often invest back into their community through sponsorships, donations, and involvement in local initiatives. Now, yes, it might be hard to purchase everything from a local business. An option to just feeding the corporate giant is to use their purchasing platform to contact the sellers directly and purchase by that route. This keeps the dollars within the buyers and the sellers' hands. Now, convenience does come at a cost. You simply have to ask yourself at what cost, and what is more important to you. No one can take that decision from you. So next time you purchase something, consider paying a few dollars more to keep the purchase local if you can. All right, moving forward, a heads up to everybody. The Hard Rock Trail and Penn Gate parking lot will be closed for construction repairs for 3 to 4 weeks, Tuesday through Friday. They will be open on weekends, but trail access will only be available from the main parking lot at the Empire Mine State Historic Park. The trail section from East Empire Street to the Osborne Loop Crosscut intersection will be temporarily closed to deal with erosion repair. Access trails from McKnight and Stacy Lane will also be closed for the duration of this project. Now keep in mind that trailer parking is not permitted at the main parking lot. And for updates on when the trail section and the Penn Gate parking lot will reopen, visit the parks.ca.gov/Empire Mine webpage or look on Facebook or Instagram pages. Now that we've reported on the use of goats for vegetation management before, as part of Nevada County's diverse vegetation management strategies, the Livestock Vegetation Management Project utilizes goats and sheep as natural grazers to help clear dense vegetation and reduce wildfire risks. This collaborative effort is led by the Nevada County Office of Emergency Services, the Nevada County Resource Conservation District, and the First Rain Farmland Stewardship Services. Let's watch this video to see how this pilot program is making a difference.
My name is Nathan Alcorn with the Nevada County Resource Conservation District. I'm the program director for the agency and currently managing this livestock fuel reduction project.
And my name is Tim Van Wagner with First Rain Land Stewardship Services, and we're out here to look at our goats.
Well, the goals of this project are, it's a pilot project first and foremost, so the metrics of success are kind of tentative at this time. However, we will be weighing the measurable fuel loads from 1 square foot post-treatment, and also seeing what kind of vegetation species come back.
For us, part of this project is a partnership forming too, working with the Land Trust, working with the OES and the RCD. And we're firm believers in this as being like part of the toolbox for managing fuels and land in the Sierra Nevada. And livestock, especially goats, can be, in our area, a really great first entry onto land. They're not the heavy treatment, right, of a masticator or even a hand crew that gets in here and cuts a lot of things. This is part of a bigger idea around land management, which is that we need an ongoing and sustained effort of actually managing land. It's not just something you do in the spring after the grass grows. We've had so much incredible growth and accumulation of fuels in our forest that we really need to re-enter and do a heavy reduction on fuels, but then we also need a way to maintain that work.
It's no secret that goats eat almost everything. This includes weeds, scrub oak, poisonous plants, and tree limbs. They are a great use to aid in fire mitigation efforts. They can clear areas of flammable vegetation, which helps slow the spread of wildfires. Now, goats can also help improve wildlife habitats and reduce invasive species, and they don't have a bit of a problem with navigating the rocky terrain that is often inaccessible to heavy equipment. Goat grazing can also cost about 10% or less per acre compared to hand crews, and they are an alternative to chemical or mechanical methods. Okay, so now the big question is, how many goats do we need to clear out the fire fuels? Although there are many factors, a herd of 60 goats can clear 1 acre of vegetation in a few days. Okay, in other news, the Nevada Irrigation District reports that the Maben Canal Phase 4 improvement project is underway. This project includes the encasement of open portions of an existing canal and the enlargement of an existing siphon. The canal is located on the backside of private properties with difficult access for maintenance. The current section of the canal is undersized and does not meet downstream demands, which means roughly 600 feet of open canal will be converted into an 18-inch diameter buried pipe and a 470-foot long 12-inch diameter siphon pipe, which will be replaced with a 24-inch PVC pipe. This will improve the required flow capacity. A control valve and a flow measuring flume will be added at the end of the project to provide control and measurement of the flow. Now, the project will provide uninterrupted service and lift the moratorium to allow water service for new customers. The canal lies along the southern borders of Nevada County along Lime Kiln Road. And as wildfire risks continue to rise, the need for a proactive stewardship has never been greater. The Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation invites the community to the Forest Future Salon Series. Say that 3 times fast, folks. The Forest Future Salon Series, Stewarding Our Collective Home. Join a panel of experts as they explore the many dimensions of forest care, from climate resilience and ecological restoration to indigenous knowledge and community action, and discover why protecting Tahoe's national forests is essentially not just for our region, but for our planet as a whole. This event is on Thursday, February 27th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Coffee Bar Bakery at 12047 Donner Pass Road in Truckee. You can RSVP for the meeting by tapping on the link in this video's description. Now, don't go away. We'll be right back with a guest that you won't want to miss.
In the heart of California's Sierra Nevada foothills, Nevada County isn't just a place to live, it's a community to thrive in. At the Nevada County Economic Resource Council, we're committed to supporting our local businesses, fostering innovation, and creating opportunities for entrepreneurs to grow. Whether you're starting a new venture or expanding an existing one, the Nevada County ERC provides the resources, guidance, and connections you need to succeed. Your success, our mission. Join us today and be a part of Nevada County's bright future. Visit ncerc.org and let's grow together.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue is a California nonprofit corporation staffed with volunteers and entirely funded by donations and fundraisers. Volunteer members are local citizens that have the desire to help their neighbors and friends in a time of need. And here to tell us about this organization is Deputy Sheriff Dustin Moe. So Dustin, thank you for being here with us.
Of course.
Glad to have you here.
It's great being here.
What can you just give me a brief overview of exactly what Search and Rescue does?
Oh, I don't know if there's a brief way to talk about it. So
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
They primarily go out and try and find the lost people out in the wilderness. That can be all-encompassing, though, because Nevada County is quite vast, rural. We have a lot of steep terrain once you start getting up in the summit area. So we have a lot of different specialty teams that encompass all the variety of terrain that we have within the county. Aside from that, they train year-round for all those missions that they go out and do throughout the year. And they also take part in a lot of community events alongside with the sheriff's office. So going to the fair, going to Truckee air shows, they go to bike racing events and help support the medical side of the events.
Okay. Now, I can think of maybe a couple specialty things. I think I told you before, I'd seen guys on their quads running around through my neighborhood. I guess they were training that particular day. What other kind of specialty teams do you have?
Well, I'm sure I'm going to miss a few, but
well, do the best you can.
So we have an e-bike team, so the little battery-powered bicycles. We have a team dedicated to that, which helps them cover a lot of trail quickly.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better than we used to run dirt bikes, but now they're on this e-bike phase because they're quiet, so you can actually hear stuff while you're out there searching. We have an evidence team that assists primarily with our major crimes unit and going through crime scenes. We have Nordic teams, rope teams, dive team. The foundation of search and rescue is our ground pounders. So not necessarily a specialty team, but that's what everyone starts off as, is a ground pounder, and then they're classified as either type 1 or type 2, and that's just dependent on the type of terrain and elevations that they can go to, whether they can spend the night out in the field and stuff like that as well. We also have a drone team that we're trying to get up and off the ground, so we have some prospective members that are going to start getting their Part 107 licenses so they can fly these unmanned drones and assisting with the searches. We have an OHV team that they drive all of the equipment. So we have 2 snowcats, we have a handful of side-by-sides during the wintertime. We equip a couple of them with tracks on them so we can go up in the snow country. Have a fleet of different trucks in order to pull. We have an incident command trailer, and then we have 2 Mercedes Sprinter vans, one of which was donated by the Truckee Tahoe Airport. The funds for that on building it. And those are very beneficial. So those get used multiple times throughout the year. So if we have any fires, those come out and assist the sheriff's office with evacuations and trackings. And then they have a specific fire evacuation team, members of the volunteers that come out and help with the fires. There's a team specific for running incident commands, just kind of behind the scenes people. So there's a lot to cover.
I was going to say maybe those are like ham radio operators, amateur radio operators.
I'm sure some of them have some experience behind that. Some of the members of search and rescue. So we have, I don't know how to put it. We have I'll just say this. So for their communications, they ended up building out their own radio infrastructure. So they have, I can't think of the words for that either.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a network.
Relays that they've placed throughout the county. So their radio comms are actually commonly better than what we have on a patrol standpoint.
On the patrol standpoint.
Yeah, so they've done a lot of work. They're very dedicated, go-getting. So they've raised funds to get those out there to try and keep everyone in communication.
I heard you mention the dive team, and one of the things that comes to mind, of course, is we have this wonderful resource at the South Yuba River, but unfortunately it turns dangerous a lot of times, and people require you guys to come out and pluck them out of hard spots out there in the river. Do you have a whitewater rescue team also, or is that separate from the dive team, or is that the dive team?
Yeah, no, so we don't have it's considered swift water rescue with the moving water like that. And we don't run that on our dive team currently. That's through the fire department. That they have a swift water rescue team. Occasionally we'll work alongside them and kind of run the shore as they're doing any operations to assist. But they'll be the ones that are getting in the water. So our dive team primarily will work out on our lakes. So we've had a few drownings recently. We had one in Rawlins and then one up at Donner Lake this past year as well, where our dive team was called out. Our dive team also went up to the Thermalito Afterbay up in Butte County.
That incident was up there.
And assisted up there. So that one is a commingled team. So we have a few different sworn members, meaning members of the sheriff's office that are on it. And then we have a few different volunteers that are also part of the team that help out with it.
Now, other than you're assigned to search and rescue full-time in your capacity as a sergeant with the sheriff's department.
Yeah, so I'm the primary sworn person that oversees search and rescue. So we have maybe a dozen or so other deputies that are cross-trained. And the way that works, so search and rescue, all the members, everyone that you see wearing orange are going to be our volunteers, the ones that are putting feet to the ground. And then anytime that they go out on a search, they have to have a coordinator resource from the sheriff's office that goes along with them. And then I have some other responsibilities on my assignment. So I do search and rescue, OHV, boats, and I oversee our drone program that just got up and running as
right.
well. So
Now you mentioned making money. The sheriff's department does not totally fund search and rescue.
no, definitely not.
What percentage does the sheriff's office fund?
That'd be a hard one for me to put out there.
Roughly.
Oh, 10% maybe, 15%.
So the rest of
along
it's
those
from
lines.
community. Are you able to get grants or anything like that?
Yeah, so I'd say a large chunk of the funds that they use are not garnished, but they get it from the 2 fundraisers that they do each year.
Okay.
So annually they'll do one up in Truckee and one down in Grass Valley, and that's the primary point where they'll get the majority of their funds. However, they also do go out for grants here and there. So we recently just did one through Direct Relief. It's a local company, not local, California company, and they just got a grant in order to purchase a new side-by-side. So we're still they were accepted on it, and we're still in the process of getting awarded the money so they can make a purchase with it.
Okay. Now, we got to give you a commercial moment here. What are the 2 fundraisers that you were talking about in Truckee? One in Truckee and one down here. What are they? When are they? How can people contribute?
It's during the holiday times when they do them most of the time, and it's just we scatter search and rescue members throughout the area in Truckee and in Grass Valley. So any of the high traffic, foot traffic areas around like Safeway, Starbucks, any of those places where it's going to get a high number of people going to, you'll see members standing out there in orange clothing, and they're out there just trying to raise funds for the program and make it easier for them to go and rescue people.
What do you guys have for a budget roughly in a year?
Oh, around 100,000, 80 to 100,000.
Really not that much.
No, not, especially with the amount of equipment that they run. Yeah, no, it's a lot. They accomplish a lot with minimal amount.
With little.
Yeah.
I see. Is there anything else you want to tell me about it?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, feel free. This is your chance to plug your organization.
We're
a paid advertisement right here.
We're always looking for new members. So
Okay.
There's a couple different ways for people to go about the process. If they just Google Nevada County Sheriff Search and Rescue, my desk number will actually be on the website. I believe it's like ncssar.org. They were just working on a new website as well. But so you can give me a call personally, and I can walk you through the steps. There's also a link on there where people can fill out an application. We set up an interview, which would include myself and a few other volunteer members, sit down for 30, 45 minutes, kind of get to know the people, and then work through the process. We have a board that oversees it. So there's a vote that has to be taken for acceptance. I do a quick background check, and then there's just an onboarding process. They do their own academy, which is quite extensive. It starts in late April, goes the full month of May, and then it's every Saturday and Sunday during that time frame where they're out in the field with search and rescue, learning everything that they need to know.
Techniques.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned to you, I saw the guys on quads running around my street, whatnot, training. Guys that are on the quads, guys that are on the Nordic teams with skis and whatnot, everybody buys their own equipment.
Yeah.
So these guys it's personally owned quads, personally owned ski equipment that everybody's using.
Yeah, sometimes it'll be, the majority of the vehicles are owned by the nonprofit. So like all of our side-by-sides, pickup snowcats, stuff like that.
The big stuff.
Yeah, but we do have like enduro teams that have their own privately purchased dirt bikes that they bring out. And then, yeah, the vast majority of gear that people are using, they purchase with their own dollars to help benefit our community.
No, you mentioned the e-bikes. These guys have their own e-bikes.
Yeah. No, we have, I believe, 4 e-bikes that the nonprofit has bought, but the majority of people on the e-bike team have their own e-bike.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very impressive. So I took over the program about a year ago, and it's just amazing how much, the type of people that we have and the amount that they're willing to invest into the program, not only in their own time, their money, taking them away from their families. Like they answer the phone at 3 in the morning to come out when it's pouring rain or snow, or it's the middle of the day and it's 100 degrees outside. They show up to come help find people. So it's very rewarding.
Good enough. And you said you have there's a website. Is it connected? The sheriff's department's or sheriff's office website will direct us to the search and rescue?
Yeah, so through the sheriff's office website, you can access that through mynevadacounty.com. There should be a link in there for search and rescue. But if you just Google search or just search Nevada County Search and Rescue, they have their own website that they built out for the nonprofit side of it, and has a lot of good information on there. Kind of describes different teams. So,
anything else you want to add before we go?
Nothing I can think of right now.
All right. Well, thank you, Dustin. Appreciate having you here.
Of course.
All right, everybody. Well, folks, thank you for watching this edition of Nevada County Now. If you'd like to help contribute or write stories, appear on a show, or even become a host, please check out the details on our website at nevadacountymedia.org/NCN. This program is local news and information brought to you by locals. Now, remember to stay safe, especially we're going to mention that with our search and rescue gentleman here with us. Remember to stay safe, take care of each other, and get out there and explore all this community has to offer. All right, good night now.